I wanted to talk today about one of the marks of a superior society, and that is pluralism. You might say, well, what are you talking about, Philip? Pluralism. Pluralism is having a society which tolerates more than a single point of view. It's always been considered the kind of society which is more tolerant, which is more open, which is more amenable to other people, more friendly, more outgoing, simply because within its ranks, within the walls of the society, you have people with many different points of view. Pluralism is something which used to be championed as a part of the multicultural society and something which we were to strive for. But rapidly we've seen a change, particularly over the last 5 years, maybe 10 years or so, where we've moved from a pluralistic society to a kind of a monoculture, an idea where there's only one acceptable view. There's only one narrative which is allowed. There's only one idea which you can acceptably hold to. And if you deviate from that view, then you are not tolerated. You are, in fact, demonized, maybe even cancelled, maybe pushed to one side, maybe excluded from society in some way. And that's a real loss to our society. It's something, it seems to me, which we need to strive against a monocultural society. Because what it does is it shuts down alternatives. It shuts down the point of view which is different from other people. And that's not only intolerant, it's also dangerous. And it's dangerous because it's the alternative view, it's the outlying view, it's the unusual view, which is the one that often advances us beyond the norm. It's those views which are different from other people, which challenge the accepted orthodoxy, which ultimately, in the future, may become the acknowledged truth. I've often quoted Galileo. He may be one man against a whole world, contra mundum, in his view that the earth moved around the sun. Everyone said something different, that the sun was moving around the earth. And Galileo was persecuted because they lived in a monoculture. One idea only. Don't deviate. We must all think the same way. But we moved on through hundreds of years and through the Enlightenment, and we became a pluralistic society. One which could move higher than those kind of societies. One which was a better quality society because it tolerated the views of people who it disagreed with. It took the idea that everyone had a right to their own thoughts, everyone had a right to think things out for themselves, and everyone had a right to come to their own conclusions, no matter how different it might be from mine. And as long as people didn't harm anybody else, then a whole range of different viewpoints was allowed. It encouraged a debating society, a society which allowed people to discuss different issues openly, honestly, and it became not just a tolerant society, but a much more truthful society, where people didn't have to hide their viewpoints because they deviated from the norm. It's those closed societies which only allow the single viewpoint, which are the most dangerous of all societies. So dangerous, in fact, that we have to give them a special name. And I think that that's the perfect definition of a fascist society.